Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm back. And I'm coming to you today because I wanted to talk a bit about Tomb Raider. Now, as you know, we had a bit of an issue with Tomb Raider and YouTube and all the other stuff. But we're not going to talk about that because I decided after getting home from my vacation, my little mini road trip, that I needed to finish this game up to make room on my solid state drive for BioShock Infinite. So I sat down and I played it. Now, according to my Steam page, I played about 9.5-ish hours. And I completed about 76% of the game. That means I missed a lot of the optional tombs and the collectibles and all that other stuff. That's usually how I play. But what most people are saying is that from top to bottom, they're getting about 15 to 20 hours worth of content out of this game. And I just have to say that it is a fantastic game. I mean, it is one of the best platformer action-adventure games that I've played. I've played Uncharted 3. I've never played the first two. I've only played 3 because it came with my PlayStation 3. And I thought that that was a fun game, but this one just blows it out of the water. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the game and why you should play it. Now, this game, the greatest thing about this game, or one of the greatest things, is the fact that you actually like Lara, whatever. She is... It's so interesting because in the beginning of the game, you feel like she is this person that you absolutely just have to protect. And as the game progresses and she becomes more aware of herself, it feels more like you're living through her as opposed to trying to, keep her safe, basically. You're seeing her doing all these amazing things and you're cheering her on all the way. Now, not to say that there are some points where you just look at her and go, okay, stop breathing so hard, stop squeaking all the damn time. But all in all, she's fantastic. And some of the other characters were good. Not to say that they were all good. Some of them were kind of cheesy. Really, really stereotypical hodgepodge kind of group going on. And you knew right from the get-go what the story was and how it was going to end. But that's okay because it was all about the journey. And I had so much fun on the journey. The core gameplay itself is good. Really good. The combat system feels really fun and fresh. Well, maybe not fresh. I mean, it's a third-person shooter, basically. But you get this awesome compound bow, and you get to do all these amazing shots, and you end up getting... And that's another thing I wanted to touch on, which is really cool. When you start out this game, it's not like some other games where you have all the tools at your disposal. It's up to you to figure out how to do them. No, you, as the game goes along, you earn new things that help you progress in the game. And you look at things as you're going along going, if only I had something like this, I could do this better. Well, it comes along and there it is. It gives it to you along the way, and it's like you're learning all these different things along with Lara, whatever. And it's just a really fun adventure. The puzzle solving is kind of, I don't know. I mean, the puzzles were kind of a challenge at first because you had to kind of think, okay, hearkening back to the olden days where you had to go, okay, if I do this a little differently, maybe I'll have a different result. But after a while, if you weren't getting it, she or another character will actually pipe up and kind of give you the answer. It's like, hey, look over there. Maybe if you do that, or maybe if you do this instead of that, something different will happen. I don't know how much I like that. I understand that after a while, you want to get the game moving along. And that's fine. But the whole purpose of a puzzle is that it is up to you to solve it. Oh, stop that. So the whole idea behind giving you clues are fine. Not audio clues basically telling you to try something different. But the nicest thing is the whole vertical jumping and everything like that. The old games is basically just a linear go from here to here, jump sideways, crawl sideways, tiptoe across this ledge sideways. Well, no, there's a lot of verticality in this game. There is a lot of different ways that you can approach getting to certain positions, and it's fun. Now, the one problem I do have with the game is, even though it's got a lot of open exploration, it's only in certain areas. And it almost feels like it's kind of pushing you towards the next zone, where it's like, okay, we want you to be able to explore, but you don't need to spend too much time here because you're kind of holding up our story and we want you to see the story. And that was actually another thing that I had kind of an issue with, was how little I had control of Laura, whatever. She, you would run 5 feet and all of a sudden cut to a quick cut or a cutscene. And then all of a sudden it'd throw you a QuickTime event, and then you'd finish the QuickTime event, go back to another cutscene. Then you take control for a little bit, do a couple of jumps, and back to another cutscene. It was a bit too much. It was too heavy-handed, in my opinion. Now, not to say that the story wasn't great, not to say that the cinematics weren't awesome and the cutscenes weren't fantastically done, but stop taking away control so much. That is my biggest gripe with this game. But the characters, the gameplay, and the sound especially, oh, I love the soundtrack. It is awesome. It's fantastic. It is one of those games where you are doing yourself a disservice by not playing this game. Now, whether you wait until, say, a Steam sale or, get it right now, it doesn't matter. Just play it at some point because it is well worth your while. Regardless of the hassle that it put me through personally, which has no bearing on the game itself, but was the publishers, big middle finger to them. But it's still a fantastic game. As you can see, I'm obviously not doing anything with video right now. I'm just going to show little JPEGs, basically, of some of my greatest deaths, because obviously I don't want to have any more issues with the whole, DMCA bullcrap. So I'm going to pop up a few and just describe them to you and let you see some of my more pleasant deaths. Okay, so here we go. In picture number 1, you will see Lara, taking a bit of a steel rod to the jaw. Yes, I was sliding down a waterfall and horrible things went amiss. In the next picture, you have Lara, impaling herself on a tree branch. Why? Well, because apparently I can't parachute worth a damn. It didn't end well. As you can see by her, for some reason the coloration when you had the tress effects on kind of messed with her hair a little bit if the shadows weren't playing right. I don't know what was going on with that. It's like all of a sudden she's like old gray-haired lady. It didn't happen too often, but it did happen enough to notice. Okay, in the next one, we have Lara being impaled by a big, gangly man. And of course in the next one, Lara, the flagpole. That was a very surprising death, to say the least. In the next one, as you can see, she's underwater. Well, she just kind of smacked against that rock there and pretty dead. Didn't work well. Finally, we have the main antagonist that just broke my neck with my own freaking thingamabob. What is that? Climbing axe thing. But that's okay, because in this final picture we have, well, not the final picture, the second to last picture, we have Lara being a badass. That's right. Lara Croft, badass. And finally, the greatest thing I've ever seen in the history of credits. We hope you have enjoyed playing Tomb Raider. We have worked our hardest to bring you the best game we possibly could possibly make, whatever. Thank you for taking the time to complete our game. That is awesome. Not many devs do that. They will thank their friends, their relatives, their puppies, their children, their goldfish. Rarely do they actually thank you for playing their game and say, we did the best that we could. We hope that it was enough for you. Awesome. Thank you. And even though your publisher is a pain in the ass, Crystal Dynamics, you did a fantastic job on the game. I can't wait to see the sequel. Please, for the love of God, do not bog us down with DLC. We know you're going to do a DLC. We know you're going to do map packs. That's fine. I'm not going to touch the multiplayer. I have no intention to. Not going to do it. I mean, I don't even know how it's going to be feasibly possible. I mean, sure, there's a lot of jumping around and stuff that you can do. And the cover system in this game is fantastic. It is not like where you have to do, like it's say in Gears of War, where you got to run up, hit the spacebar, slam against the freaking wall. There, you're in cover. No. In this game, you just walk up to a wall and she will instinctively take cover. It is fantastic the way it does this. So you don't have to be mashing buttons and trying to pop out and pop back in and all this crap. But I digress. I don't want to see too many DLC. I want to see you guys working on a sequel. I want to see where Lara goes from here, Lara. Because it already gives a little hint as to what's next. And we yearn for more. I yearn for more at the very least. So with that, I thank you for listening and looking at pretty pictures, because obviously you couldn't watch. And I will catch you next time.